Hey, what's up, guys? It's Mike, the All Hallows Geek, and welcome to an all-new Halloween hunting video. That's right, Halloween shopping is in full swing here in California. We're finally starting to see stuff in stores. If you watched my last Halloween hunting video, you would have seen that the finds were a bit abysmal at the time, but things are finally starting to pick up now that we're here at the end of July, and I'm sure it's only going to get better as things go on. So on Thursday, my wife and I, we went out and did some Halloween hunting because we had to do some grocery shopping, and we hit a few stores. We hit TJ Maxx, and TJ Maxx actually had a decent amount of stuff in. The last time we were there, it wasn't a whole lot, but they got quite a bit more in, so I'm going to show you guys some of that. We went to Ross, and they had nothing, nada. Like, it didn't even look like Halloween had shown up there, and that's at the Ross here where I live in Corona. And then we went to the 99 cents only store, and really that's kind of where we hit the jackpot. Our store here in Corona had really kind of filled all of their Halloween aisles from top to bottom with pretty much everything I think that they're going to put out at this point. There might be a few more things, but they seem to have most of what's going to be in stock for Halloween season. And then we went to JoAnn Fabric, which was good and bad. I'll show you guys when I do my kind of walkthrough of JoAnn's. So I was able to capture a couple shelves where they actually had product out, but unfortunately, even though they had a ton of product, it wasn't actually out on shelves yet. So what I would recommend doing is if you want to see more of what JoAnn Fabric has, take a look at the All Hallows Geek Instagram account. That's at All Hallows Geek. I did post a ton of pictures from JoAnn Fabric, and reason being is essentially they had all of the Halloween stuff on shelves, mostly on the tops of shelves. And so my wife and I just kind of took things down one at a time and set it up, took a quick photo. So definitely go check out the Instagram if you want to see the rest of JoAnn's stuff. But I did capture a few things from JoAnn for this video. It's mostly skeletons and a few things like that. Then on Friday, we actually went to the Michael's store in the Eastvale Miraloma area near where I live, and they actually had a bit more. Up until this point, we'd only seen really the Halloween trees, the new orange tree, and then the black tree that everyone's been going crazy for over the last few years. But they finally had more stuff. They had Maxx Spooky Town out and a few other items. So we'll take a look at that, and a lot of their miniature stuff and some of their kind of DIY stuff was out. We also popped into a different Ross, again in nearby kind of Miraloma Eastville area, and they didn't have a whole lot. It was basically a couple end caps. For the video, I'll show you guys kind of one of the end caps. If you want to check out my Instagram, there were some signs that I couldn't really capture on video just because of their size, but I did post them over on Instagram if you want to check them out. Then we popped into a Dollar Tree, which is also in that area. Unfortunately, they didn't have a whole lot. They had about one aisle with some light decor and some DIY stuff, so I'll share that with you. And then we went to Homegoods, and actually this time Homegoods, I know I shared Homegoods before and they had a little bit here and there. This time they actually had quite a bit. It seems to be kind of filling out a bit more in the store. The kicker here though is it was kind of scattered throughout the store, so it was a little bit chaotic. I did kind of capture what I could, the best I could, so that you could see what they had. You will notice it is kind of, there's a lot of fall and Thanksgiving kind of peppered in with this stuff, just because again everything's kind of all over the place and a bit chaotic, but at least you'll get a glimpse of some of the stuff that's hitting stores now. And funny enough, while we were at HomeGoods, we ran into our first instance of what we believe was a Halloween scalper. It was interesting. It was this guy, and he had a toddler in his cart. So he was on the phone with somebody, which we're assuming is his wife, and essentially he was getting orders on what to get off the shelves. And the dude like legit cut in front of us, swiped this ceramic pumpkin off the shelf that was very specific on what he needed. Like, he was describing it to the woman, and he's like, okay, that one. And it was interesting. And there was another woman in the aisle, and she got kind of flustered, like, what's happening? Because this guy just kind of swooped in. Funny enough, we actually saw him in a couple other stores Again, only looking at Halloween, only interested in Halloween, and very specific about what he was picking up. What was funny is at the second store, we actually beat him to that store and beat him to the Halloween section. And me being the a-hole I am, I sat in front of I sat in front of the shelf that he wanted, that he was pacing to get to, purposely so that he couldn't get to it. And I just kind of took my sweet time looking at stuff. So the scalpers are out in full force. It is that time of year. It sucks for those of us who love our Halloween decor, but it looks like it's already kicking in and people are kind of diving in. Who knows? I mean, there is a chance, I'm sure, that this guy was just picking stuff up for his wife, but he seemed really particular about what he was getting and the way he was describing things. It seemed too much like they were looking for specific items. But it is what it is. It's part of the adventure, I guess. Hopefully they won't wipe out everything for the rest of us for the Halloween season. All that said, let's dive into this week's video and all of the places that we visited. And be sure to stick around till the end, and I'll show off some of my first Halloween purchases of the season. Check it out.
All right, so starting off, we're here at TJ Maxx. You can see some of the ceramic gingerbread houses and just your normal fare that you're used to seeing at TJ Maxx. Some mugs, definitely plenty of mugs. Gnomes, all of the gnomes. You're going to see those a lot this Halloween season. They keep coming back year after year, but this year they're dressed up as different things. You see their devils here. I'm sure in other stores we're going to find them as other creatures, but there are gnomes everywhere. I told you, gnomes. The other thing, you'll see a lot of these ghosts. These ghosts seem to be at like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross, seem to be popping up, and they have different, words. They either say boo, or they've got little different outfits on. So it seems to be another kind of returning theme for this year. Quite a few of those. And these are some martini glasses, if you can't tell, with the skull and crossbones on them. It was really hard to get this shot. The lighting, no matter what direction I was in, did not want to work with me. But they're martini glasses with skull and crossbones, and then they have the picks for the olive, and it's got a skull on it as well. This gnome's butt did not want to move. And funny enough, this shelf was actually at the front of the store by the checkouts, and it seemed like it had better stuff than what we were even seeing at the back of the store. You'll notice these little fake plants here. These seem to be a big thing again this year that I've actually seen in a couple stores now so far. And now transitioning to the 99 cents only store, this is some of their pillows that they have for this year. I particularly like the Ouija one. Then just a couple of kids' costumes, but really what I wanted to show here were these Dia de los Muertos dolls. Really kind of cool. And this year's mugs from 99 cents only. The one thing you'll notice with these is they're actually a lot better quality than in years past. And here are their treat buckets. Lots of treat buckets. But you'll see here in a minute another set of mugs, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Just the overall quality is a lot better than they've had in the past. And here we're getting into the bulk of their Dia de los Muertos stuff, so they definitely have a lot of Day of the Dead at the 99 cents only store. So if you do celebrate, and you have one near you, this is definitely one place that you'll want to check out. They have tons of it. And this stuff here, not necessarily Dia de los Muertos, but more just Halloween in the neon colors. I think they just kind of fit in nicely there, and that's why they put it there, even though it's not Day of the Dead related. But more of their stuff, they have those kind of solar baubles again this year. Some table runners, some little boxes, so plenty of Day of the Dead if you celebrate. Definitely go check it out. And now we're back into Halloween. Again, you can see here they have some of those Halloween nutcrackers that they've had in years past. Some gnomes, some jack-o'-lanterns. I really like those jack-o'-lanterns. And there's some of their vintage stuff, not as much this year, but these couple of canvas images or canvas pictures are actually kind of neat. Some plush. I only had a couple or other 2 or 3 of these, and this is actually the only 99 cents only I've come across so far that's actually had these Halloween plush. So some Halloween rubber ducks. These have actually been picked over quite a bit. I feel like they had a few more styles previously when I was there. Some of the neon signs that are back again this year, they had these last year. And more of those Halloween nutcrackers. They have quite a few this year. These 2 little signs of Happy Halloween and Spooky, these actually light up. They didn't have batteries, so they didn't work. But they do light up, much like these miniature light posts. They too light up. Those ones actually have the testing things on it, but I figured you'd get the gist of how it works. And these are their lanterns that I know they've had the last couple years. I think they do have slightly different designs than in years past in terms of what's on the lantern, but and with that, we're going to head over to JoAnn Fabric. And as I mentioned, we didn't get a whole lot here, but there's plenty of skeletons. Oh, and by the way, 30% off right now. So if your JoAnn's is actually stocked, you get 30% off Halloween. But these are some of their skeletons this year. The iridescent ones. I like the little velociraptor. He was kind of cool. And then your under the sea skeletons. And some wiener dogs. Dragons, of course. And some big old skulls, which were pretty neat. And yoga skeletons, because what's Halloween without a yoga skeleton? Year after year after year. As I mentioned, JoAnn's didn't have a lot on shelves, so definitely head over to @AllHallowsGeek on Instagram if you want to see more of what JoAnn's has. And now we're transitioning to Michael's, so we went there to Michael's on Friday. These are all the new Maxx Spooky Town houses that were at least out at this particular Michael's in the Eastville, Miraloma area here in California. A lot of the new ones like the Ferris wheel here and the record store. Definitely love the Maxx stuff though, it's so much fun. I wish I had space for it. And here's just some of the accessories they have this year for the Maxx Spooky Town. So some little pets, little jack-o'-lanterns, these guys, which I thought were fun, some more pets, and your usual accessories. And some more Spooky Town. I really like that archway that we just passed there. And the witches in their car. That's a fun one. I really like this one, the levitating girl with the witches. There were so many repeats, I tried to focus on the ones that I hadn't shown you, but as you can see, stuff's kind of all over the place. And shifting from Maxx to the Michaels miniatures, lots of miniatures out right now. These little bottles, little potion bottles, little bags. But tons of miniatures, a lot more than I had seen the previous week when I went shopping, so they definitely seem to be pretty well stocked this week. And here's some of the DIY stuff where you can kind of paint the ceramics. Quite a few this year. It's kind of neat. I noticed a few styles that look like stuff that's been released at, Target in recent years. So if you missed out on some of their dollar spot stuff, you could paint your own essentially. The ghost, the cat, the jack-o'-lantern. Those have been in the dollar spot in recent years. The little ceramic candy jars, but now you can make your own. There's the cat that I was mentioning. And if ceramic's not your thing, they've got plenty of wood stuff that you can paint and kind of DIY, make your signs that look like tombstones. They've got these little figures you see here. It's actually a witch hat. It was a little hard to tell what that was in the initial box, but just little witch hats. And then again, they'll light up little coffins. They had lots of these. And each of these obviously light up with kind of different color flashing lights, and you can paint them or do as you wish with them. And that's the cat who did not want to be picked up. And the Halloween advent calendars, they've got 3 different styles this year. So you've got the haunted house there, you have a jack-o'-lantern, which is this one, kind of weirdly shaped, and then you have the coffin-shaped one. But 3 of those this year, as opposed to, I believe they just had 1 last year. And then you have these giant yard signs or porch signs that you can DIY and paint the way you want or make them say something, but kind of neat. And the last of the Michaels Halloween, this is some of the stuff they had up front, more of the kind of craft type things. These are the stamps, lots of different stamps, a lot of stickers and paper goods. There's your washi tape for this year. These spiders were kind of neat with the little jewel. And now I told you that Ross had like a end cap, and this is it. Or I think 2 end caps, and that's about all we got. This guy, I could not get this guy to work right to save my life. And then he finally kind of started doing something, but at that point he was already kind of tweaked, so. Love that Dia de los Muertos sign. Really pretty. And now we're into Homegoods. So I told you Homegoods is kind of a mess, kind of all over. You're going to have stuff peppered throughout, so I tried to get what I could, make the most of it, but you're definitely going to see some generic fall, autumn, Thanksgiving all throughout this. These were some of the bigger pieces that they had. Outside of this, it's a lot of more miniature stuff, but those items at the top are kind of the big ones. Your gnomes are back. That does seem to be another big theme this year, is kind of the fortune telling and palmistry. I know it's not unique to this year, we've seen it in years past as well, but it does seem to be popping up in more stores. If you noticed in 99 cents only they had some, and then here we are again with some fortune telling and some palm reading type stuff here at Homegoods. And there's those ghosts I told you would be showing up again.
All right, welcome back, you guys. I hope you enjoyed my walkthrough and overview of some of my Halloween hunting from the last week. Obviously, we're going to keep doing this. I go out every week to find out what's new on store shelves. I try and hit different stores and even go back to some of the stores. So you'll definitely be seeing more of these. If you're not already following at All Hallows Geek on Instagram, make sure you're following me there as well, because I do document quite a bit of my Halloween hunting there as well. I tend to save the YouTube videos for some of the bigger finds or the kind of larger trips like this video here. All that said, let's take a look at some of the things I picked up. I was finally excited to see some things I actually wanted, so I figured I'd share some of that with you guys today. So first and foremost, I picked up this guy, this jack-o'-lantern at Michael's. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I know he's technically for their miniatures that they sell, but I liked the look of this guy. I'm probably going to shove candy in his mouth, if I'm being honest. Like, that's probably what he's going to be used for. But he's nice. He's a kind of a hard plastic. Fun. It set me back $24.99. But I think for the quality of this, and if you look at it, I mean, it's pretty well detailed. It's good quality. So for $25, I didn't think that was too crazy. So I picked this guy up. I really liked him. That was one of my first purchases. My wife actually picked this up when we were at TJ Maxx. So if you can see this, it's a little bit, it doesn't want to there we go. So it's this purple glass. We've actually seen these in purple, orange, and just silver. at a few of the different stores at like TJ Maxx, the Marshalls, the Homegoods that are all, you know, kind of connected together. But it's just this wine glass, and it's pretty neat looking the way that it's kind of layered in terms of the images. But this thing set us back just $4.99, so these aren't bad. And like I said, they're in like 3 different colors that we've seen. We've seen orange ones, and I believe the print is all the same. It's just different colors. So there's like an orange, a silver, and then this purple one. But my wife loves purple, loves witches, so she definitely wanted this. So we picked that up. While at the 99 cents only store, we actually picked up about 4 of these little guys. So this was kind of fun, this little jack-o'-lantern. These are metal, and they're good quality. I mean, this thing only set us back 99 cents, but he's pretty solid, and it's got the little handle. I'm not sure how we're going to use these yet, but we really liked the design and we liked the style. And again, for 99 cents, they're great quality. So I picked that up. The other thing that I was excited about that I picked up at the 99 cents only store was this Boo image. And I apologize for the ring light causing a glare, but there we go. As you can see here, it's this vintage looking kind of canvas that says Boo, and it has the ghosts and the 2 jack-o'-lanterns. What's interesting about this is it actually lights up as well. Where did the switch go? Oh, it's right here. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Oh, yeah, you can. So if you can see his eyes lighting up there, when I turn it off, on, off, on. So this thing actually lights up. I don't care about the light up feature so much. Like, really, I just liked kind of the vintage spooky vibe of this canvas. And that's the reason I picked this up. Despite being at the 99 cents only store, it was not 99 cents only. This one actually set us back $4.99. So that's just something to be aware of with this one. But I mean, it's still pretty good. I mean, for $4.99, you can't beat this. It's got that vintage look. And they actually have 2 different styles of this. If you look at my Instagram photos, you should, I believe I have a photo of the other one over there. But I picked this up. I thought this was fun. I definitely love the vintage look with my Halloween decor. And so that's the reason I picked that one up. And the only real Michaels purchases we got were these new kind of tiny treasures shelves that they have. So they have 2 different styles. My wife and I couldn't agree on which one to get. I liked this one. It had that kind of gothic Victorian mansion sort of look. And essentially what these are, they're just shelves, and they're designed to really put some of the miniature stuff that Michaels has that I shared in the video here, and display those. So we don't have a lot of miniatures necessarily. I mean, I've got plenty of tiny Halloween stuff, but not necessarily the miniatures they sell. We have picked up a few from Michaels in the past that we liked, but you know, we're not really necessarily miniatures collectors. But I saw this, I like this. I know there's plenty of stuff we could stick on the shelf, so I picked up this one. These set us back $24.99, which these are wood, I believe. I haven't actually put it together. Yeah, it's made of plywood, so it's you know, sturdy enough. So I picked that one up, but there is a second style. My wife liked this one more, as you can see here, because it was a little more witchy with the moon and the stars. Same thing, so it's got 3 shelves that you can do. This one also $24.99, made of wood. So depending on the style you like, and if you collect miniatures, or if you just have small little Halloween trinkets that you want to display, I think these would be a great way to do that. So far, my first major kind of Halloween haul of the season. It's been kind of slim pickings. Like, I haven't really seen a whole lot that I've really been excited about so far this season. I've seen a few things at people posting at Big Lots, but unfortunately my Big Lots still doesn't have anything yet, so I'm kind of excited to go there and check out what they have. I have the feeling there's going to be a few items I buy there. But yeah, that's this week's haul and this week's Halloween hunting video. I hope you enjoyed joining me for the adventure. I hope you found some things that you might be excited about buying. And until next time, keep it creepy.